Everyone to our committee meetings for Monday, January 13th. Having one chairperson for County Services Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to open County Services at 6 o'clock. We have two presenters today. My phone So I'd like to invite Amanda Lyons up along with Charlie and your wife to come up and talk about the county Veterans Relief Fund.
Thank you for having us. So tonight we just wanted to talk about a new initiative that we're starting in Human Services, very similar to the Senior Angels program. I'm sure many of you are aware of. It's a Veterans Relief Fund. The idea behind it is that the Senior Angels program is very limited. You have to be a senior, and we have a lot of veterans that range from 80 years old up to World War II era veterans. So the purpose of the fund is to take donations that are offered to the county and put them in a reserve essentially for those that are in need. Doesn't necessarily have to be that you have to be eligible for Medicaid and maybe were denied or anything like that. It covers medical bills. Maybe you have a furnace that needs to be repaired. Maybe your children have an application that they need to send out and you don't have the money to send with it. It's really kind of open to anybody that's a veteran in the community. And our first deposit was about $2,300, I would say. And we are now being presented with a check from the Catskill Elks Lodge also to contribute towards it for
$1,500.
$1,500.
Wow, which was made available for helping our vets barbecue at Butcher's Pot of Gold this past summer. Pleasure for me and our lodge to present you with this because we, as Elks, as long as there are veterans, we will never forget.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. And so that's right. Yep, so I'm just going to give you some programming updates for both, aging, everything that falls under Human Services now, which Veteran Services does go under. I'm sure some of you have been to the office lately. There looks like a lot of things missing off the walls. We are trying to kind of clean up, tidy up, renovate where we can. I'm definitely an OCD kind of person, so the clutter's killing me. So, so we are cleaning house and literally cleaning house from our meeting room, the senior centers. I've been to 3 of the senior centers. Everybody's been stockpiling stuff, I feel like, for decades, and it's gotta go. So we are working on a plan to make sure that they have what they need, but they don't have the stuff that they don't need any longer. We're also working on rectifying some contracts with some of the towns because there are some items where we need to address with them, and we're working together nicely to try to get those taken care of. We are also creating drivers pools and meal site manager pools with per diem workers. So that way when we have staff shortages, we don't have to close the centers. I made it pretty clear the first week that I started there that we are not closing the centers unless there is inclement weather or something major is happening at the building that we can't be there. The plan is for them to have emergency meals that are ready to go out in case there's a stove that's down. That happened in Athens the first week I started. So they're gonna have some stuff to prep, ready meals to go if they can't do congregate. And even if they can't necessarily cook, they can still have congregate setting meals with tuna fish sandwiches or whatever we can come up with for that given day. So we are working on getting some equipment fixed, replaced, things like that, to kind of keep those up and running smoothly so there's no hiccups there. We are starting an internship program. We were approached by Ulster County Community College first. However, I did reach out the same day to Columbia Greene and to the school district. I started with Catskill. The idea would be that we would build a human services internship program that they can help us with special events and learn the ins and outs of each program. A lot of stuff that's been coming through lately is, digitalizing records for the county, things like that, where it's something that is a valuable tool that they can take with them anywhere. So we are in the process of getting that underway. You'll see a resolution on the docket for tonight for that. We met with Habitat for Humanity. They're actually coming into Greene County, and they're going to be offering us the ability to refer clients for things like ADA compliant ramps and home repairs if it's, if there's non-load bearing walls and things like that, to make them more feasible for people to stay within their home. I mean, that is the main goal for aging, is to keep seniors in their homes. The veteran population as well also struggles with the same issues. So the program's open to anybody that has a disability or in need. It's not really an income qualified type program. So it's a really great attribute that will be really of help for us moving forward. In addition to the Veterans Relief Fund, we're also starting an in-house scholarship fund for the children of veterans, which is part of the Community Day program in the summer. So that will be established as well. So our plan is really, if we get any donations to the department for veteran services, the donations will be split between those two programs going forward. So that way we have plenty of funds in each of those. And for veteran services, Tyler started, he's here obviously in the stream, we'll saw him. Tyler started in December, so we're kind of underway of just creating new programming and developing some outreach opportunities for the program. One of the areas that Tyler wants to put focus on is doing some VSO work on the road, which means maybe not necessarily being in the Catskill office, but going out into the townships and doing veterans claims out in the townships. We are working on a project. We're getting some information about the gravestone markers that go to veterans after they pass away. Our understanding is that there are some, well, we're not really sure if they're at the cemetery right now or at the funeral homes, but they are the placards that go on those grave sites. The family either couldn't afford to put them there, didn't know the placard came from the VA. So we're going to work on a program to try to get those out and get them into all the cemeteries in the county. We have the Community Day coming up on September 13th this year. So we're going to be hosting that again in the Carroll Town Park, and that's been reserved with the Town of Carroll. And Ray Brooks fishing tournaments coming up. It's got moved to June. It got moved to June. We can get you the definitive dates on that. And then we're going to start a Veterans Roundtable meeting that Tyler's going to host, probably in this building, just because they don't have the space in theirs. But the idea was to bring any stakeholders that's related to the veteran population together in a neutral territory, not a Legion Hall or VFW, but bring them into the county and work together on coming up with new programming and initiatives and stuff that we can kind of build together instead of being siloed in each township, which seems to be happening quite a bit. And another area that we're also looking into is changing the way that we articulate case counts and traffic coming through the department. One area that I have a lot of focus on is really trying to determine the unique individuals that we serve and their caregivers. So it's not something that was being necessarily addressed or tabulated, I should say, counted going in the past. But showing you more that, we have X number of veterans that are assigned to the VSO's office in Greene County, and how many of those are we serving on a monthly basis, unique individuals. And then from that, showing you which war era they've served in, and then the amount of frequency in which that population is coming through the door. So for instance, we could have 5,000 interactions with veterans over a month, but I want to know how many of the 5,000 interactions were assigned to an older population, because maybe they're aging, just so we can get an idea as to trends, what to expect going forward. The Vietnam veteran era is probably the most significant right now as far as people coming through the door, but as they start to age out, we will see the Gulf War era come through, 90, 91 probably. And we just want to see the frequency in which that they're utilizing services and what we can kind of predict going forward based on age and demographics. So So anyway, so those are our new updates.
Busy year.
Busy year, it's been a busy month. You would think I was here 10 years, but the rate I'm going, anyway. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
On the round table, it
Yes.
seems like a great idea. I know the vet have the meetings every Monday at the Carroll Library because it's a central location. So you may be able to also do your round table there.
Right.
It'd be a good location for people to come from the mountaintop as well as.
And I think that's our hope. I think our plan is to actually have it and move it, you know what I mean? So give everybody an opportunity to be kind of
Okay.
for the meeting. So I think that going forward, that is the plan. And we are gonna do mobile coffee hours too. That was the other.
That's
plan.
what he's
Yeah.
doing there on Monday. That's worked out good.
Yeah, they have a good.
Great idea. Thank you.
And you're welcome.
I was going to ask, I know that we are closing the Catskill Point project, but when we were down there with the veterans monuments that are there, you know, I know I've mentioned it to
Yeah,
Harry and
good
Mike
idea.
and Jay, a few of us were talking after the ceremony that there's another veterans marker that's there. Is it possible moving that to make it more uniform, where you have the center one, the new one that they just put from cement, and then the other one on a similar stone? And I know we had talked about getting maybe like a bigger flag there to make it more prominent. I know it's a flooded area, so we have to be aware of that.
That's what every spring.
But is that something that maybe we could use some of those excess funds that we are getting back from that
The
project?
latest monument that was relocated there was cleaned up first because it was age. And then we had to install a concrete base for it. It was done with county staff.
Mhm.
So if we're gonna realign this third one, and county staff can do that, whether or not it needs to be cleaned,
Right.
as well, that's easy to do.
And then maybe make some, you know, improvements like a border around it, make it more
make it.
prominent.
Let's make an Eagle Scout project.
Yeah, and actually, it's funny that you brought up, the point. So the Ray Brooks tournament, I was talking with Tyler today, that was set up in the past always as, having the veterans that are in long-term care at the VA come down here. The only thing that I wasn't sure about was really like, not that it really maybe matters to us, but you know, how many of them are actual Greene County residents, versus they were just in the VA's long-term care and they're coming to take part in the program. So, Tyler's actually gonna be reaching out to our long-term care facilities that are in the county. At Christmas, when we did the adopt event, there was about 50 of them, but we're gonna extend the invitation this year to them as well.
I think that's great.
So, that way it does seem like we're vested in the people that are in the county, not just, who's at the VA. So, and that also will include the fireman's home and because there's quite a few over there.
Amanda.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you have an answer, or you've had discussions with other veterans agencies, but when we do veterans events like Honor a Vet, and you have your honor guard there, most of them are seasoned veterans, more elderly. And usually we always ask the question, why are we not seeing younger veterans involved in it? I know that they got working careers or raising families, but is it something else besides that? Or are they just
I think,
disassociated with the VFWs or the
I think
Elks?
that's probably more, just from an outside looking in and having a spouse that's, in his 30s, that's a veteran. I think the issue is really wrapped around that, connection to the VFWs and the Legion halls. They are struggling with enrollment. And my understanding is that, that some of them like to be in the VFW, you have to qualify, not every veteran can join. The Legion is a little bit more open, but, the issue is that they are kind of like an aging population that's in those programs. So, and I know that they're trying to, get more people to enroll, but, there's a cost associated with it. And young working families, I'm sure, that cost is probably better used elsewhere, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So one of our goals by doing this roundtable is not to alienate the people that aren't part of the Legion halls. Because by doing the roundtables, we're inviting everybody that we know that's a veteran that wants to partake in planning of veteran events. In hopes that maybe that will start strumming up more younger people to come in, and Bet the Vet's been bringing in quite a few younger people to their programming. So I think it's just gonna take time, but I think we'll get there eventually. It's just difficult. It's, you know, it's a weird age group. And there was also a pretty significant gap between the Vietnam era veterans and, you know, the Gulf War veterans, so.
Thank you, Amanda.
Anything else?
Thank you, Amanda.
You.
Okay, next up we have DSS Commissioner Piera. Byron? I like Kira better.
You're good. Well,
Ira.
a lot of people do, you're right. So good evening. So I'm here to actually keep the good news rolling, because 25 is going to be good news rolling. So back in October of 21, DSS started a partnership with what we call Care Portal. Care Portal is a mechanism for us to have a connection to the local churches to provide things that we couldn't provide with government money. So when CPS or foster care workers would be in a home and they would notice that there's an unmet need. A great example is beds, bedding, curtains, things that we couldn't get reimbursement for. We could reach out to the churches to assist us to make a collaboration. And this is to show you the amazing news of how the program's developed here in Greene County since that October date until now. So I'm going to introduce Sandra Flack. She's the founder of Justice for Orphans. And next to her is Gene Knopf. He's the lead pastor for the Care Portal team for this particular region. And he's also one of the pastors in my church for United Methodist Church. So he wears many, many, many hats. So Sandra's going to do a quick presentation. And I hope you guys are all as excited as I am for what you're going to hear on one of these amazing slides. So here we go. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Flack. It's the button.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
I'll leave this then. Still let me walk away without that. So thank you, everybody, for allowing us a few minutes to share this good news. I am not doing a good job. Do I have to point at something in particular?
Try one more.
Oh, there it is. There it is. So that's myself. I'm the founder of JFO, and Gene is our regional manager. He covers Greene County as well as Albany County and soon to be Ulster and Orange, we're hoping. But that is, he's your main guy. Okay, so Care Portal, just so you can understand that a little bit, Care Portal is a technology platform that connects child welfare agencies like the Greene County DSS agency with churches and businesses and people in communities who want to meet needs and help children, but don't necessarily know how to help children. The county, like Kyra said, would put in, the caseworkers would put in requests for tangible goods for families, and then those tangible goods would go out really in the form of an email to all of our participating churches and businesses and community members who want to meet those tangible needs. And they really just click a button and let the caseworker know, we want to meet this need. And then the church steps up and provides those items for the family. So the child is always at the center of every request that goes into Care Portal. And we want to see children in safe, loving, stable homes and with their families. So we're really meeting needs that are going to strengthen the child, strengthen the family, so that the community and the church and the family can wrap around these children. Care Portal is actually a national, used nationally. It's rolled out in all of those states that are indicated there in orange. And JFO brought Care Portal to New York State in November of 2018, so approximately 6 years ago. We started in Schenectady County, and then the following year we brought it to Albany County. Then there was COVID, so we just kept meeting needs but didn't expand. And then the following year, was it 2022? 21, we brought it to Greene County and then Rensselaer County and so on. So you can see nationally and across the state, over 330,000 children have been served nationwide, over 15,000 children across New York State. We were able to help some other nonprofits like JFO and other parts of the state begin to implement Care Portal there. So it's out in Monroe County, it's out by Buffalo. So it is expanding across the state.
Any of our neighboring counties?
Yes, so I'm glad that you asked. because JFO actually manages Care Portal throughout 9 capital region counties. So we're in Columbia County, Albany County, like I said, Rensselaer County, Saratoga County, Washington, Warren, I said Albany, Rensselaer County. Is that 9? So 9 currently, and we're in the process of bringing it to Ulster and Orange. Jean's working really hard to make that happen. And we're excited because just in the capital region, just in those 9 counties, since we started 6 years ago, we have served over 11,000 children throughout the region. So we are super excited about that. We're going to do the Greene County slide next. This is one. So these are the most common items that are entered into the Care Portal to meet the needs of the children. Kyra mentioned, beds, bedding, it could be clothing, tables, chairs, help with the utility, car seats, dressers, baby gates, help with camp fees, cribs, all kinds of things. Always, the child is always at the center. But if it's, for example, maybe a mom had escaped a domestic violence situation, her kids maybe went into foster care, she's ready to come out of the shelter, she's ready to get her kids back, but she has to establish a home for them to come home to, right? So she secures an apartment, but she needs to furnish that apartment. So we have to have beds for the kids, right? Mom even needs a bed, needs a table and chairs. Very expensive to be able to do that. So those are the kinds of items that would get entered into the Care Portal, and the churches, sometimes multiple churches would step up and meet those needs. So always tangible goods, tangible items. So this is the one I was looking for specifically to Greene County. Again, we launched in October of 2021. So far, 560 Greene County children have been served through this program. The county has entered in probably more than 254 requests, a little bit more than that, but we've met 254 of those requests with a percentage rate of 89.12% of the requests get met, which is high on the national average. I think we shoot for 80 nationally, Jean, and so we exceed that. And the economic impact just in Greene County so far is over $177,000. We're super excited about. And this is some of the good news. One of the reasons why we got invited down here tonight is because, of course, I mentioned this is a technology platform, right? You log out of your computer, you go into your Care Portal dashboard, and it's technology, so it is tracking all kinds of data. And we happened to notice back in December that out of 1,050 counties across the United States, Greene County logged in at #1 in, we call it CHAD, County Health Assessment Dashboard. And what that basically means is we've got the highest percentage of active churches. So when the request goes in, a church responds, highly engaged churches. We've got more requests are being met, than above the average. So we got a score of 12, which is perfect. So Greene County rated #1 across the country in the Care Portal back in December, and we're super excited about that.
So I'm just going to jump in and just tell you, 2 of the people who are vital to the team to make that happen. Dan Hall, Director of Services in the back, and Helen Castle, she's a supervisor in the prevention team. Those people really make those requests go in, and to make sure that everything is done correctly. You're going to see one of those requests up here of what they're doing, but those folks really lead that team, and they're making that happen. Well, again, got to know that, so thank you. I interrupt your presentation.
Oh, yes, no, perfect. Okay. Oh, now it's really moving. Just go one, okay, good. So far, these are the churches in Greene County that are serving to meet needs. Asbury United Methodist, Gospel Community Church, down in Coxsackie, Lighthouse Churches in Athens, Medway Congregational in Catskill United Methodist, Second Reformed in Coxsackie, Mountaintop Parish. Rock Solid Church is actually across the river in Hudson, but they love to come. They have a lot of members on this side of the river, so they will come over. And I also know that there is a Catholic church up in Ravenna, where I am from, that is also happy to meet needs in Greene County. So a lot of churches will cross county lines to meet needs if the request happens to be near them. So we're always trying to add churches to the care portal. That's one of Gene's jobs. He goes around and tries to recruit those churches and train them and get them involved in this to meet needs. The more churches that are participating, obviously, the more children that can be served. So if anybody's church is interested in being part of it, you want to, Gene's your guy. You want to meet up with Gene. He will help you get on board and involved in the care portal. Okay, Kyra mentioned a request. This is an actual request in the care portal. For all I know, this could have been met already because they go in and the churches are meeting them so fast.
It was met.
It was met, okay. Oh, it was answered, sorry, I was only looking up at the top. So this was submitted on January 9th. Every request is assigned a number, and then there's a purpose that goes with it. So at the top there, you'll see it says help preserve a kinship placement. So this would be a relative taking care of, a relative's child. So the story is 3 young children, ages 6, 4, and 2, were removed from care and custody of their biological parents. Paternal grandmother has stepped up and is willing to take the children during this difficult time. The grandmother is seeking provisions to ensure continuation of care in her home and is in need of a toddler bed. The agency is working to support the children's transition to their grandmother's home. The request is being entered as urgent to ensure that the children have a safe space to sleep. So the request was for the toddler bed, mattress, and that was actually same day it was entered into the care portal. It was met by Asbury United Methodist Church. They responded and they provided the toddler bed and helped with grandma. Oh, there you go. And then so we're happy to answer any questions that you may have about the care portal. We're happy to do that.
Yes, would you know, are the rest of the churches within Greene County aware of your program? They just haven't engaged, or?
We do our best to reach out to them unless you really get sometimes, a real connection with the church. It's not easy necessarily by just, calling people randomly, and making random calls. We try that, but if there's anyone that has an in or with one of the churches, we'd be more than happy to contact them.
Okay, thank you.
And any churches interested, the easiest way to do that is to go to our website, which is justicefororphans.ny.org. There's a care portal button on the top of the page. And if you just click there, you can give us your information and Jean will be in contact.
What, is there a cost factor or?
No.
No,
For the church.
so who's funding all of this?
So the state is actually paying for the computer platform.
Okay.
When we originally started the project, we were paying for that. It was only a couple $100 a month. We were paying for the software. But then the state realized that this was a really good program and wanted to see it rolled out. So they're paying for that cost. So that's the only cost that the state's paying for. And we pay nothing. We put in the request.
But that church, and the example you used, that church funded the bed,
Yeah.
Right.
toddler bed, mattress.
And sometimes it's a member of, a member in the congregation may have a toddler bed and the church just buys a new mattress because we like mattresses to be new. But if it's a dresser or a table and chairs, a couch, they don't have to be brand new. They could be like new. So it could be items that are, gently used that are donated. It could be funds to help purchase. Sometimes the church will establish a small budget and then allow to be able to purchase the items directly that way. Community members can get involved. We had a car dealership up in Albany actually donate a significant amount of money to us last year for the purpose of buying beds. So with that money, we purchased all of the beds and shipped them to the churches who then delivered them to the family. So there's opportunity for businesses to be involved, individuals to be involved, churches, certainly.
So are the churches taking donations and keeping an inventory of all of the material that are needed, or if they see the need come through, they reach out to members of the congregation with actually which need whatever.
Usually they reach out except for the churches that happen to have thrift stores. Asbury Church has a furniture thrift store as well as a clothing store. I want to also share one example so the example that we put on here was not the only example of someone meeting the request on the same day. Today there was a request for a family. They had the money to register one of their children in a wrestling program in the school. There was a fee for for the program and for the t-shirts, but they didn't have money for the other kids. And that request went on and it was answered within an hour and a half.
Pretty.
So can this be open to the general public or does it have to be for a church?
So anybody can go on to the care portal and look at the requests in there, and if they want to help fund it, there's a button that they can click where they can make even an online donation that would go towards purchasing the items. And then the church is always at the center of meeting the needs, so the church would be making the delivery, but businesses can get involved and go along on that delivery. Individuals who want to make a donation can get involved, but we have the churches get involved. They're the main point of contact. Their congregation is trained on how to do this, and then they see the requests come in and they just click the button if they want to respond. Anybody who goes to, you could go to even careportal.org and then go on and look at open requests, and you would just put in Greene County. You have to indicate the county and the state that you wanted to see requests from, because it's nationwide. There's lots of requests in there, but if you can specify your county, then you can see the active open requests that are on there. And then there's ways that anybody can get involved to meet the need. But, you know, because we train the churches and there is best practice and there's safety and there's confidentiality, not just anybody is going to be able to get to the family, so to speak. So that is all done, you know, through what we do with the families or with the churches to provide that training. We go in and we train so that the volunteers understand not only best practice, but understand the impacts of trauma on families and things like that, so that they can help without hurting.
Well, if you have your contact information, I can get you some meetings with at least the Catholic churches in Greene County. They're all one church now, including Ravenna. And also the Catskill Ecumenical Council of Churches. I don't know if you've met with them. I can get you a meeting with them. And then also the Matthew 25 Food Pantry deals a lot with clients that come and request these items, where she could be beneficial to have this meeting as well. You get that
Do
information.
the referrals only come through Kyra, or is there an opportunity for other county agencies or like the food pantry to submit referrals?
Other child serving requesting agencies could get involved. There would be a fee for them to use the technology because the OCFS covers the cost for the technology for the counties across the state. But we, like, for example, we also work with the Schenectady City School District. So the Schenectady City School uses the care portal and enters requests that way, you know, into the care portal for their student body. So they do pay a technology fee for that. But we've met thousands, you know, reached thousands of kids helped with helping through the school. So schools can also be a part of this as well.
Question for you, Ms. Black, and Kyra. Have you reached out to the IDA? You have Sealy Serta, just as the beds as an example.
Yeah.
They're made right here in Greene County. I don't know who you're buying them from. But
Well,
I'm
the
sure.
churches
as a-
actually provide the beds and the items unless we get a donation to purchase them. But if a business wanted to get involved and provide, one bed a month or however they want to
Just an
help,
outlet, maybe you could
Yeah.
reach out to those people.
definitely.
I mean, they receive a pilot, they're in our, industrial park.
Yeah.
And they are members of Greene County, and we produce something that you can use.
Yes, definitely. If we can get a connection there, that would be great.
I'll be in touch.
IDA board member sitting in the back of the room.
Take it and run with it, Keith.
Gene's your man. You'll keep his cards. You'll be able to use your point of contact for sure.
Kyra, do we have a quick link on our website for people to reach out to them?
The care portal, no. Yeah, we, all the links we had have been internal of how we put in the requests and what we've done, and then the information went out to the churches.
So is it a good idea to put a link on the social services website, or would we prefer that people reach? I don't see how people are getting the information that this is available, other than if they come into social services, they ask about it.
Yeah, it was through the child welfare system, so it's as we seen the cases, and that was in the beginning, that was really the trust factor. It was our team, it was our caseworkers that went out into the community, and they seen these needs, and they were able to find them, and they were real needs.
Yeah, so people themselves can't go to the care portal and type in stuff that they need. It's all vetted through DSS. So they're entering the request, but the public side of the care portal, anybody can go on and see what the requests are if they want to meet the need.
Sean, do you
Well,
still have any
that's
meetings with the
put
county
a-
superintendents?
Link that people
School superintendent?
Yeah.
know to contact
Yeah, we could do, yeah. You know, in the beginning.
as a program.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting because it took a lot of acceptance, and here we are in a very short period of time. We're number one in the nation for some of the things that they were looking at. So this has grown leaps and bounds in a really short period of time. And it's been really accepted. I mean, much more than I ever anticipated would ever happen. You know, even for the staff. I think the staff in the beginning were wondering what was gonna happen. And they realized, look what's happened. We have complete strangers going to homes that we've been called to by the state central register or some very uncomfortable situation, and they're being embraced and they're bringing supplies into people's homes. So a very unique spot to be in.
Well, I think people don't realize some of the things that your department deals with on a daily basis and how that's affected a lot of the families out there. They just don't see it and they don't realize it. We're a lot of this taking 3 kids. That's actually a mild case for some of the things that you guys get to deal with. But there was a resource there that people were aware of. Or
Trying the best meals I have the whole year. That's why I'm so excited. Okay. So we have 8 action items tonight. Number 1, authorizing agreement, student internship placement agreement.
Lavera.
Vera and Handel. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
thank you.
Number 2. Authorizing agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging and Hearthstone Care LLC.
Handle.
Handel and Lanudo. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that's passed. Number 3, authorizing agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging and Hearthstone Care LLC for social adult and daycare.
Lennon.
Lennon, Lennon and Lang. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passed. Number 4, authorizing agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging and Home Aid Service of Eastern New York, DBA Trinity Health Alert.
Handle.
O'Connell.
Handel, O'Connell, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 5, awarding bid, meat, canned goods, frozen supplies to Ginsberg Inc. and Thurston Food for January 1st through June 30th, 2025, and paper goods to WB Mason for January 1st through December 31st, 2025.
Handle.
Handle and Leg, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's passed. Number 6, authorizing and obtaining and furnishing of election-related services and materials.
Lennon.
Lavera.
Lennon, Rivera, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed,
Opposition,
and my opposition in case Thunder started back.
that passed. Number 7, authorization to facilitate 2025 annual village elections.
Lavera.
O'Connell.
Rivera, O'Connell, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed,
That passes. Number 8, funding allocations for Greene County Department of Human Services, Youth Bureau. Lennon,
Handle.
Handel, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's passed. Anything else to come before county services?
Motion to close.
Second. We are closed. Well, yeah.
Throw it up on the way.
I'll take care of it.
Shannon, have a good night.
All right.
Hey, man, this one's
You called the Public Works Committee to order. It's 6:40 PM. Got Highway Superintendent Stephen Hamilton here, and hear from him.
Good afternoon. Just going through the agenda. I'll try to be as brief as I possibly can. We finished up a couple of projects. We're in several different phases of others. County Route 40 and 61, there are federal and state aid projects. We're really pushing to try to get those completed and in construction this year. Both of them are in the right-of-way phase right now, and hopefully we get the right-of-way clearance and then put it out to bid. Once we put them out to bid, hopefully we get the contractors on board and get those projects done this year. Spruce Turn Road and Sagebrook Valley Road bridges, they're in the very preliminary stages right now, so we're looking at 2027, 2028 construction seasons for both of those. County Route 20, another one that's probably 2027. We just started that project. We're looking probably, like I said, 2027, 2028. There's going to be some right-of-way issues out there, so hopefully we can get through that process fairly quickly. Platte Clove and County Route 3, similar, 2026. I know that Platte Clove area and that bridge, the historical significance of it is a priority. Platte Clove Road is getting far more traffic than we've ever seen before. I don't know if GPS is sending everybody that way, but seems to be a shortcut up the mountain. So we're going to try to get that done as quickly as possible as well. Locally funded projects, County Route 1 bridge replacement out of Colquitt. Right now, we've opened it up, but we still have some punch list items to complete that for next season. So June 15th-ish, hopefully sooner, because we've done most of the stream work. June 15th is the earliest we can get into the stream, but most of that work is already completed. So if DEC is on board with it, we'll try to get that done earlier than that, as soon as the weather changes. All the other ones, driver feedback signs in Caro, those are the school signs. We'll put it up for a resolution. We actually got a really good number for that.
Any indication when they're gonna start that?
No, we requested some sort of timeline from procurement of the material. We haven't gotten anything yet.
Never got anything? Okay.
So they want a signed agreement before they start procuring anything.
Okay.
So hopefully if that passes, we can get that going.
But we have the signal, we ordered those already. You ordered the equipment already, haven't you?
No, everything is through them.
Through them? I thought we were gonna.
Everything is through the contractor.
Okay, I misunderstood you, sorry.
Another project, Henry 2, we're working with Greene County Soil and Water, Henry 2 Culvert project in town of Prattsville. Depending on how quickly they can get through the design of that, we may be able to do that this construction season. We are in the midst of snow and ice control. You know, trucks out even today. So we're trying to get through it. The mountaintop we're getting a lot of small storms, which we're using a lot more salt than we did last year at this time. That's because of the nuisance storms, whether it's an inch or a foot, we're still having trucks out. But we're getting through it. Solid waste department, residential drop-off area and the tipping floor, by the end of this month, we should be completed with everything. The tipping floor should be done early next week. They should be stripping the forms and both sides of the tipping floor open for traffic business. I think that is it or any questions?
How about the overhead door that was damaged?
We have estimates.
Yeah, Wednesday, they're gonna fix the building. And then it's 4 to 6 weeks for the, door to come in.
It's still operational? the door?
Yes, yeah,
The price,
about 25,000.
Insurance,
Our insurance?
no.
It was an outside vendor
Yeah.
that hit the door.
Correct.
So their insurance is gonna pay for it? Correct. Good.
And a reimbursement or they're gonna pay for it direct?
I believe it went through the. Yeah, so that was a little much for them to.
Yeah, once we get the insurance. So we'll need to do an amendment later on the spending authorization.
Yes.
thank you.
Scott, on that Spruceton Bridge rehab,
Yes.
you don't think that seems a little too high for engineering for a rehab?
It's not rehab, it's full replacement.
It says rehab.
It shouldn't, it's a full replacement of that structure. Yeah, those bridges, there's 2 remaining bridges out on Spruce Road. Both of them are gonna be fully replaced.
Okay.
But yeah, it's 100% replacement.
Okay.
And that's the 80-20, 80-15-5, 15% Arch-Select funding, 80% federal, 5% local. All right, to present.
All right, we got 5 action items. First one, authorize municipalities to participate in highway or in county highway purchases.
Martinez?
Martinez and Handle. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And number 2, authorizing the highway department to enter into an agreement with CDM Smith for rehabilitation of the Spruceton Road Bridge over Westkill, bin 3-20125-0, Town of Lexington, pin 1762.64.
Aye.
Village.
Mike and Buich, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 3, awarding the bid installation for driver feedback signs, County Route 23B, Main Street in the town of Carroll.
Lennon.
On Handle, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4, close capital project number 130, shoreline at the point.
Martinez?
Stonington, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 5, budget amendments, capital project number 123, Greene County Justice Center, and capital project 129, extension of broadband. Handle.
What is, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, what is this extension for?
This is, I sent that note out the other day when we had the unforeseen refund from the fiber reimbursement, and we have to, by ARPA rules, commit the funds by 12/31, so we're basically just doing a swap out of what is a cash contribution and making it an ARPA contribution, so that's probably gonna make a difference.
And you're able to get away with making this after 12/31?
Yes, because we issued a PO change from the end of the year. I mean, remember the definition of commitment is not just a board resolution, it had to be a contract, or it had to be a purchase order. Adjustment, so this is just a housekeeping.
That was the reason we couldn't move it to the Carroll Senior Center project, was because we didn't have purchase order associated with it. Correct.
But it came in under budget, it was remaining fund.
Right,
Yeah,
the fiber whole project.
Fiber project came in under budget, and I think they notified more like December 28th or something like that, so we had to move pretty quick.
So we were able to fully expend the ARPA funds.
Do we have a second on that?
Handle.
On Handle? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
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 That's me.
That's carried. Motion to adjourn.
Lennon.
So move.
And Brendan Martin as an adjournment.
Opposed?
Good job. I thought you abstained. Good job, you heard an extension.
I'm sure.
Let's call for economic development and tourism at 6:50. There are no reports this evening, so we will run right into the proposed action items. Number one, proposed capital project number 132, the Cotate Preserve.
Leonard.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number two, budgeted amendment, Greene County Economic Development, Tourism and Planning, Big Valley Trailbreakers Snowmobile Club for 2024 through 2025. Move by
Bueller.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none, so carried. There's nothing else, I look for.
Hang on. Oh, nope. Probably.
And who seconded it?
We'll choose.
Thank you.
On that same one, because the change, yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none, so carried. There's no other business to come before the committee. Looking for a motion for adjournment.
Leonard.
All in favor?
Zero.
Good evening. I'd like to open government operations at 6:52. We have two resolutions tonight. I'll get right into them. Number one, requesting legislative assistance to extend the municipal home rule legislation regarding local share of mortgage recording costs.
Leg,
Martinez, who? Leg. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Number two, authorizing obtaining and furnishing of assessment role-related services and materials. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone oppose? And just so everybody knows, there's an informational item on the bottom of the agenda for wholly exempt analysis of the 24-25 tax roll. Great report, by the way. Yes.
Thank
Is
you,
there
Raymond.
anything else to come before government
Davis,
operations?
question for Ray.
Sure.
From the county perspective and the county authority does the county hold any authority to restrict parcels from being tax exempt, that the only parcels that could ever be tax exempt, someone has to purchase already a tax exempt property, rather than purchasing property that's taxable already and then making it non-taxable?
Sure, they can do that.
A county can do that, or is that gotta go at a state level?
No, a taxable parcel that is purchased by a non-taxable entity that is eligible for a wholly exempt exemption would be eligible to apply for that exemption.
Based on state real property tax.
Yeah.
That wasn't the question.
Not county.
No, the question is say we've got 100 in the village of Catskill that are tax exempt properties already. That the only ones that can be tax exempt from then on because tax exempt organization purchased an already tax exempt property.
No. The tax exempt organization purchases my house and it qualifies for an exemption. The eligible then.
It was on the number 101.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
In other words, we have no control of this.
So the county has no control, but that's something at a state level or anything?
They're all state legislated.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
I am not aware of any, there are every year, if you follow the state legislature and what we call in my world, one-off bills.
Right.
There are counties all the time exempting specific parcels. And it becomes a one-off legislation. That's why the volumes of exemption administration are this big.
Gotcha.
I did provide in the report, there's 2 links in the front end of the report. The assessor's manual, you just click on the first tab that says subject index, start scrolling through it. You will see, and those aren't just wholly exempt, but that'll give you an idea of the volume of exemptions that are available for one reason or another. And then also the state is a year out of date because they use, we just submitted, I just did my OSC PDD statement this week. They'll start to compile this year's results for exemption administration and things like that. So I gave you a link to the data, and we put that out publicly on our real property page as a link anyway. So, I mean, if you really have nothing better to do one evening and want to scroll through some exemption administration, feel free.
That's trouble sleeping.
Yeah. I have sleeping when I think about it. But yeah, the report is pretty self-explanatory. I tried to give it to you. You know, the synopsis sheet on the front is looking at it broadly across the entire county. But in order to produce those numbers, I had to do an individual report for each town. Sean came in my office one of the days when I was working on it, says, what's that volume of paper? And it's this thick of reports. We compiled it. It's pretty self-explanatory. The one thing I want to caution you is so if you were to single out a specific category of property, you got to remember, you have IDA properties that are in there that are receiving exemptions, but on the backside, you're getting a pilot payment for them. They sit in the wholly exempt. So let's take Athens Generating at $340 some million is sitting exempt in the wholly exempt portion of the roll, but you're actually getting payment in lieu of taxes. That is not part of it. So I just want to caution you as you look through the numbers. It's not as glaring as it appears to be in the front end of the report.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I need a motion to close. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go. Okay, we'll call Finance Committee meeting to order. Several agenda items. Number 1, requesting legislative assistance to extend mutual home rule legislation regarding local share mortgage recording for.
Davis.
Mr. Davis.
Drew?
Yep.
Drew, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 2, memorializing state representatives to introduce legislation for extension of sales tax. Lennon, I'd like to second it. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. 3, setting public hearing local law introductory number 1 of 25 and local law amending local law number 1 of 23 relating to providing real property tax exemptions provided for volunteer firefighters, ambulance workers in accordance with section 466-A and 466-1 of the real property tax law.
Right.
Mr. Lennon.
Measure.
True.
Mr. Lincoln, Mr. Drew, seconded.
Question for you, Charlie. Does this have to go through this, like when last time when we met at the schools with the fire departments? Does that have to go through each taxing jurisdiction again?
Yeah, it would have to go
If the towns,
through the schools and the towns.
yeah, the towns want to do it as well, yeah.
Just a
Okay.
correction, it's 466-L, not 466-1. And yes, it does need to go to, so any jurisdiction would need to opt into this,
In or out.
allowing for a neighboring. I was notified by 2 towns, one happened to be Brookside and Greenville. That's what was the catalyst. I kind of let this one slide through. It passed both houses last May. Governor signed it like September 27th. Kind of was asked to look at this, met with Sean and Ed to, formulate whether we should do it, talk to Pat. It was a pretty simple for us to do an amendment for this. It's a very minor number. I think Greenville will have 6, they were saying, possibility. I don't think it's big. I did reach out, so all the town assessors have been notified, so hopefully they are taking it to their boards. I also notified all the school districts. I have heard from CA school district, they are planning to work on this. One other school contacted me also, so.
But does it have to be unanimous, Ray? Like the school, the town, in order for it to be adopted?
No, the exemptions get administered at a county level, a town level, and a special district level. So it's a fire district, they would have to also adopt it. So if we adopt it and a person is serving in Westerlo, Albany County, and they're living in Greenville, they would be eligible for the Greene County portion of the exemption. But if the town doesn't pass, they will not be eligible for the town portion.
That's what I meant.
And the same would go with the schools.
Thank you.
I think it was RCS school.
Ray, I assume that would go with a fire district and an ambulance district too?
Yeah, we don't have any volunteer ambulance services anymore. So we don't have any of those that qualify in Greene County anyway. But yes, a fire district would theoretically have to pass their own resolution.
Thank you. Any, did we vote on that?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried, thank you. Number 4, adopting annual investment policy.
Village.
Lito? Village seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Number 5, authorizing treasurer to enter into an agreement with 3 + 1 for cash best liquidity and treasury analyst services. Benito.
True.
Second.
Linger True.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. 6, amending resolution 460-24, authorizing Greene County Culture Fund contract.
Davis.
Mr. Davis.
Village.
Village seconded. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. 7, authorizing Highway Department to enter into an agreement with CDM Smith for the rehabilitation of Spruceton Road Bridge over to Westfield, PIN number 3-20125-0, Town of Lexington, PIN number 1762.64.
Leg.
Mr. Lake.
True.
True, well. Oh, Huge.
Chairman.
Mike. All in favor of that?
Aye.
That's also carried. Number 8, authorizing bid for installation of driver feedback signs on County Route 23B, Main Street, in the town of Carroll.
True.
Lennon. It's true of Mr. Lennon. You're a little late on that, Harry. All in favor?
Aye.
That's carried. Number 9, authorize agreement with the Greene County Community Service Board and Credit Lines Inc. and budget amendment.
Davis.
Davis.
True.
True. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. 10, authorize agreement, Greene County Medical Health Community Services Board and the Medical Health Association of Columbia and Greene Counties, Inc. and budget amendment. Rivera, Mr. Rivera.
Lennon.
Leonard, seconded, all in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed, that's also carried. Number 11, authorize agreement, Greene County Mental Health Class C5B and Northeast Parent and Child Society and budget amendment.
Davis.
Mr. Davis.
Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's also carried. 12, is authorize agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging and Hearthstone Care LLC.
Village.
Bueller, Ms. Drew, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's also carried. 13, authorize agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, Hearthstone Care LLC for social adult daycare.
Rivera.
Mr.
Rivera.
Bueller.
Mr. Bueller seconds it, all in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed, that's also carried. 14, authorizing agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging and Long Aid Service of Eastern New York, DBA, Trinity Health Alert. Lake.
True.
Mr. Booth seconds it, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's also carried. Number 15, awarding bid, beef, canned goods, frozen supplies, Ginsburg, Thurston Food for January 1 to June 30th, 25, and paper goods at WB Mason from January 1 to December 31st, 25.
Davis.
Mr. Davis.
True.
Mr. Buick, Mr. True. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's also carried. 16, approving individual provider contract preschool special education program.
Davis.
Mr. Davis.
Linger.
Mr. Linger, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's also carried. 17, approving related service provider contract preschool special education program.
Davis.
Mr. Davis.
Linger.
Linger, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. 18, authorizing out-of-state travel and Kelleher Emergency Service. Martinez.
Lennon.
Mr. Leonard seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's also carried. 19, authorizing obtaining and furnishing election-related services and materials.
Davis.
Mr. Davis.
Rivera
Mr.
Davis,
Blake.
Lang.
and Rivera.
And Laverne. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Or opposition? Please notify. Notify. Number 20, authorization to facilitate 25 annual village election.
Rivera.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Laverne. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. 20. Opposed, 1. 21, authorizing obtaining and furnishing of assessment role related services and materials.
True.
True.
Davis.
Davis, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. Right, number 22, capital project 130 shoreline at Point. I'll take that.
Linger.
Second?
Mike and I.
Bueller and Linger.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. 23, closed capital project 132, Take Preserve.
Linger.
Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's also carried. 24, budget amendment, Greene County Economic Development Tourism Planning, Big Valley Trailbreakers Snowmobile Club, 24-25.
Lennon.
Leonard.
True.
True, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried also. 25, budget amendment, capital project 123, Greene County Justice Center, and capital project number 29, extension of broadband.
Linger.
Mr. Davis, second.
Linger.
Chairman. Linger. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Carried. Number 26, budget amendment, Greene County Public Health Department Performance Initiative. Incentive Initiative Award, year 12.
Davis.
Mr. Davis.
Linger.
Mr. Linger, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. 27 is budget amendment and authorizing creation of debris management plan.
Linger.
Mr. Linger.
Mike and I.
Mr. Lake. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's
Opposed.
I'm opposed.
And Bueller, Lindell, Rivera.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to put it on the record that my opposition doesn't come from us having a debris management plan. It's that outsourcing it to a third party when we have, I believe, smart, talented personnel within the county that can draft that document themselves internally. Just for the record.
I would agree, we have smart, talented people, but I would also agree that we had one who was standing here in front of us telling us he was 3 years behind in trying to get this out, so he was looking for help.
Where did it end up?
We gotta vote. No, we voted.
I
We
know.
voted to vote. Yep.
Have Lewis, Joe, and Rivera as those. Great.
Yes, that was it, right together. Linger, Lang, motion.
Moving right along.
Thank you. Okay, 28, budget amendment, authorized purchase of one K-9 for the Greene County Sheriff's Department K-9 program. Martinez,
That's true.
Drew, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. 29, funding assistance for Greene County Department of Human Services Youth Bureau. Martinez,
Lennon.
Lennon, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. Number 29, funding allocation for Greene County Department of Human Services Youth Bureau. Davis? Oh, wait a minute, we already did that.
We have Martinez Lennon, number 29.
Lost control here.
Authorization plate games, the claims.
Highway. Authorization paid claims highway.
Rivera. Lennon.
There and Lennon. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 31, authorization paid claims. Martinez, who would like to second it?
Second.
Jerry, Drew.
True, okay.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Resolutions are done. We have with us tonight our great treasurer, newly elected. We know the stuff, hopefully. You have any words of wisdom?
Couple maybe. Quiz tomorrow.
Want the associate to do that?
Chief cook and bottle washer, Charlie. That's me. Good copy of this. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm going to start off by thanking Ray. During my presentation last month, there was some questions about access properties, and did a nice job of answering all those questions. We're going to start out with our treasurer's report. Greene County payments on delinquent taxes. In summary, the collection of delinquent taxes in December of 2024 were $356,807.76 compared to $316,077.02 in December of 23, or an increase of $40,730.64. Year-to-date payments for 2024 collections are $6,473,490.87 compared to $5,307,477.58 in 2023, or an increase this year of $1.166013.29. So $1,166,000. Delinquent taxes. In summary, the amount due to Greene County for delinquent taxes as of December 24, total of $8,259,999.60. This is compared to $7,216,056.21 in 2023, or an increase of $1,043,943.39. Our sales tax collection for 2024 is complete as of the 13th of this month. In 2024, we received $50,069,045.33 compared to $48,304,971.64 in 2023, or an increase of $1,764,073.69, or 3.65. And as everybody recalls, that was some of the highest numbers in the state percentage increase wise.
About the sales tax, where's the majority of our sales tax come from? Is it online or is it retail within the county?
I have to break that down and look at it, which I have not done yet.
Yeah, historically, it's always been, car dealerships
Top five.
and gasoline.
The top five have always remained the top five. They sometimes move from 3 to 4, 1 to 2, but,
Online certainly has, from when it came on, has climbed the ladder. Now, I
Yes,
think it's
but
three.
the problem is, so online, taxation up until this year was its own line. The state, whatever reason, they're gonna break it down and put it in in its origination. So if you bought shoes, it's gonna go to apparel. If you stay in a hotel, it's gonna go to accommodations. So we're not gonna see just that line item of how much the internet is raising. I would have preferred to have it left at the internet sales.
I agree, where we can see,
Yeah.
is the tax being generated from our brick and mortar retail locations, or is it coming from online?
We won't know that.
You won't know.
Whether or not, sometimes, the treasurer has the sole ability to get specific numbers from the state. I think we could probably try to get, well, how was it divided out? You know, was it $9 million and was it divided up amongst 25 subcategories? I think we can get that. I think it's important for us to get that.
I just, because on an economic development standpoint, if majority of the sales tax comes from the online, well, you know, we need to look at what's going on with our brick and mortar
Brick
locations
and mortar stuff.
or retail, you know?
We want this.
I will put that on my list of things to have. More detail
Garage.
for next month.
What it is.
New item you don't see on a regular basis, until this time of year is, the 2024 due to schools and villages. The schools return amount totals $9,558,733.83 for an increase of $1,093,634.28 from last year. The village's return amount totals $615,458.82, or a decrease of $22,562.33 from last year. The school state lands totaled $1,914,998.47, or our payout this March will be $12,089,191.12. That is, it's a large number. We will get the 1.9 million back from the state. And then as collections go on with the school districts and the villages, hopefully see all or most of that back.
But it certainly is a cash flow issue.
It is a serious cash flow issue. This is, about $2 million higher than average.
Wow. And it's also something for modern years. It's also something that we pay out of reserves. Comes out of our cash, we don't bond this, and we'll pay interest on it. Cash payouts that we'll have.
We pay it out at a time of year where we haven't collected the taxes yet, too. That's why I say the cash is real cash flow issue. But that number is big as well, because we haven't had a sale in 3 years. Because the whole litigation on any pen out of Minnesota. But we will be having a delinquent tax sale this year. So the overall number should come back down. Of course, there's not gonna be a profit anymore. So I'm hoping that, we can get that total, that $8 million number, down, get this property back on the tax roll and back paying their tax.
Any other questions on that? The report I just passed out, this is an update from last month. First off, we'll start out with the 9 property class codes. Our adjusted tax amount due is $7.428 million. Interest and penalties on that amount due is $1,866,542.18, giving us a total delinquency at 12/31 of 24 of $9,295,109.70. I told you last month, we're gonna try to make more and more progress on this new report. If you were to do some analysis here, well, let me finish this part first. The county delinquencies of the warrant, the top 25 represent 24.99% of the delinquency.
Of the penalties totaling 1.836 million, 32.65% of that's coming from those top 25 properties. And the total, including the interest and the warrant, you're at 26.56% of the totals coming from those 25 properties. I wanted to share with you a couple things about that. The reports that come out of Director of Taxes versus the Treasurer's report are two distinctly different reports, which I have discovered this month to a great extent. Clear as mud. With that said, the Director of Taxes report doesn't include bankruptcies, county-owned delinquent parcels, environmentally impaired parcels, or legal costs. Where the Treasurer's report does not include the penalties and interest on the potential collection. I'm gonna try over the next month or more to begin to work these into a report that we can make more use of. Right now, it's just a lot of numbers being thrown at you. And the collection obviously is the important component that we can get through here. But I'm gonna try to make this more of a usable report over time. But I tried to meld the numbers. They couldn't quite get there. I wanna have something that ends in 22 cents, total 22 cents. And I couldn't quite get there. So, but that is the goal for me to move forward. And I've asked for input from the Deputy Treasurer as well as the Director of Taxes on how we might be able to do that. Provide you guys a little bit more information about our current delinquencies. I will pass a good piece of news along. We had a parcel that was listed on last month's top 25 pay their taxes from the town of Caro. Multi-residents, they paid, including interest and penalties, as well as the original amount due, $31,222. So you have one new parcel on your top 25 this month. Last but not least, thank you all for supporting the resolution to make an investment. I use that word carefully, an investment in the Treasurer's Office and the Cash Vest 3+1 program. I prepared a couple of statements for you, a couple of thoughts for you, so you know exactly what you're doing. Currently, 27 counties in New York State use the Cash Vest to help manage their liquidity, providing a comprehensive view of the county's cash while developing accurate and reliable forecasts of all cash and liquidity levels. Cash Vest provides independent evaluations for all current interest rate offerings and ongoing analysis of all banking fees. Constant evolving analysis of cash on deposits allow Cash Vest to help the Treasurer's Office make the best possible decisions about cash flow, investing of funds, determine what banks are offering along with the cost, resulting in clear, independent, reliable data, not opinions. Liquidity data combined with future forecasting results in higher earnings with less volatility. The safest, most stable, and highest yielding municipal portfolios consist of a core foundation of fixed income investments, some funds deposited into high yield liquid short-term accounts, and leaving sufficient cash flow in low yield accounts to handle our cash flow needs. The potential earning power of this decision. In the adopted budget, interest revenue is stated at $1.463 million. It is estimated that Greene County has approximately 70 to 75 million in strategic investable liquidity. At 4.5% overall average return over a 12-month period, that would result in 2.9 to 3.2 million in potential revenues using Cash Vest. Greene County has long-time valued relationships with our local banks. Cash Vest will help keep the playing field level. However, this program never touches the county's money. All investment decisions remain with the county. Cash Vest 3+1 helps to keep everyone's pencil sharp when it comes to comparing current interest rates offered by the banks. We still choose the investment in bank that's right for us. Furthermore, this will only help our municipal credit ratings, and at the same time, our auditors value liquidity data as it's critical for effective cash management and for the responsibility of maximizing earnings of public funds, our fiduciary obligation, specifically mine. I think this is a strong way forward for the Greene County Treasury and our constituents. And I thank you for your support.
Thank you, Pete.
Does anybody have additional?
Yeah, the 27 counties, that's just in New York State, is this nationwide?
It's endorsed by both the National Association of Counties as well as the New York State Association of Counties. And I have a list of the 27 counties that are participating. Some are near us, some not. Anybody else?
Yeah, no make recommendations, doesn't mean we have a problem.
Correct.
We can invest the way
Correct.
we feel is best.
Quite honestly, knowledge, data is powerful. We're gonna have knowledge, we're gonna have data, and we're gonna work with our financial partners to do the best we can for the benefit of our constituents. Fulfilling our requirements and our responsibilities. Anybody else? All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Pete. Anything else come before finance?
Motion to close.
Second.
Go ahead, Lynn.